Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we'll be unboxing Catra from Mattel's Masters of the Universe cartoon collection line. This 1/12 scale figure measures 5.5 inches in height. It's made of plastic, sports up to 16 points of articulation, and comes with a cat form figure and a mini comic. Now before we get to the unboxing, it would greatly be appreciated if you were to like this video, if you do indeed like it, and subscribe. That way you'll never miss a future unboxing. Now, I happen to purchase this figure from BigBadToyStore.com. They're a great online retailer. You should really give them your business. I've been using them for years, and I've never had any issues with them. Unlike, say, Walmart, Amazon, or Target, which are currently canceling pre-orders as I speak. Now, on the front of this package, we've got the retro card back style that is known throughout the cartoon collection figures. We've got the Filmation Castle Grayskull on the background with Hordak looming over it, and we've got the 40th anniversary logo for Shera in the upper left-hand corner. Turning to the back of the package, we have a great illustration of the Filmation episode Magic Hats, and there's also illustrations of the other figures in this wave, and the quote-unquote instructions on the quote-unquote action features for this figure. So let's not waste any more time, let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. Alright, and here we've got the figure in hand. It looks pretty good, looks Filmation accurate. Paint application looks okay, the sculpt looks pretty good. I really like the face sculpt. Okay, so hopefully this is going to be a little bit better than that Frost-A-Figure that I reviewed a few weeks ago. So, I mean, we'll get more into that a little bit later, but first, let's go over the articulation. Okay, so this headpiece visor is actually a separate piece, but it does move, sort of, so, you know, I guess it's articulated. Anyway, so the head's on a ball joint, goes all the way around. Arms go up to about yay high. They've got single joints in the elbows. There is a twist in the wrist, as well as a hinge. Twist in the wrist and the right hand, but the hinge is actually in the opposite direction, as if she was holding something aloft. But she has nothing to hold, so I don't know what that's about. So the dress is a separate piece. You can't do a twist because of that, and when you lift up the legs, that happens. Alright, so getting it back together, there are single joints in the knees, which are good. There is a twist at the boot, there's a boot cut, and there is a good pivot and twist with the ankles. So this has pretty much the exact same articulation as the Frost-A-Figure that I reviewed. And much like the Frost-A-Figure, this dress gets in the way of the articulation. It's not my favorite choice. So let's move on to the accessory. Let's see what she comes with. She comes with the cat form of her character from the Filmation series, as you can see right here. It's one solid sculpt, there's no articulation. The paint is good. It looks as though this was a solid purple plastic with red paint applications and green for the eyes, different colors for the mouth, etc. So it looks good. It looks good. I do wish there was some articulation, or if possibly it was maybe a little bit larger, but you know, it is what it is. Next up, we've got the mini comic that it comes with. It comes with all of the figures that are in this particular wave. It looks like we've got some Horde Slime Pit action going on there. I had that toy as a kid and drew it on my parents' carpet. Shows the other figures in the wave on the back. We also have instructions on all the modular pieces, i.e. all of the pieces that you can swap out with other cartoon collection and origin figures, in case this is your first cartoon collection figure. So bringing the figure back into the mix, you know, it looks good. It looks okay. When you put down the mask, you can see the eyes through the slits in the mask. So that's nice. That's some good sculpting and engineering going on. Here they are side by side, and you know, this is a good looking figure. I like the ponytail. It kind of gets in the way of articulation and posing a little bit. And I'm not big on this cape. It's the same type of cape, for the most part, as the Frost-A-Figure, with a very small connection at the front. So despite my misgivings about this cape, there is a playability factor with this, so you can swap out these dresses with the other female characters from the Motu line, much like a Barbie, so maybe that's what they were going for. Again, there's that small connection piece. I do fear that that's going to break, just like this Frost-A-Figure. I was able to super glue that cape back together, but quite frankly, I'm not big on this. But here's a comparison of the cape, so it's not the same cape. There are different sculpts for these two, so it's appreciated that they did not just do a reuse. And again, I guess you could swap these out if you wanted to. It's the same type of engineering as this Frost-A-Figure, which I'm not a big fan of, because you can't get a waist twist in there, and it interferes with the leg articulation. So let's get this figure back together. Just do a little snippety snap. So I always feel as though sometimes they cheap out on these female figures, that they're not really putting their best foot forward. The faces always look excellent. The female faces look really good, but the rest of it, I just don't know. So we're gonna do a quick comparison with the Princess of Power Catra from Masterverse. It's a fairly one-on-one comparison. The Catra figure is just a bigger version of this cartoon collection figure. And she comes with weapons that I wish this figure did, but you know, again, it is what it is. That's not really the mandate for the cartoon collection. Bringing them up a little bit closer, you can see just how similar these two figures really are. The Masterverse version is really just a higher quality version of this cartoon collection figure. Alright, so there we have it. There is Catra, the latest entry in the cartoon collection line. Now, what did I think of it? Well, I think it's okay. If you've seen my Frosta cartoon collection review, you can almost copy and paste the exact same sentiments from that video onto this video. I think this looks fine. I think it looks okay. I think it looks Filmation accurate. I think the head sculpt is really good. I think the face sculpt is nice. But the engineering on this, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of that dress and how it obstructs the articulation for this figure. Also, the cape, much like Frosta's, isn't great. It's a very small connection piece at the top, which could possibly break, and it really just gets in the way of the articulation as well. It looks awkward in certain positions. I'm just not a big fan of it at all. I have no issue with plastic capes, but maybe a cloth cape would have been a little bit better for these female figures. And also, as an aside, I'm not visually interested in this character. I think she's visually unappealing, but this is more of just a personal preference. I think she looks like an off-brand 60s Catwoman. Again, that's no fault of the figure. The figure looks very much like the Filmation version. It's just that, unfortunately, I just don't like the look of it. In all honesty, I think the version from She-Ra Princesses of Power from Netflix looked a lot more visually interesting. It was doing something there. I know a lot of people in the fandom don't like the that Netflix series for a variety of reasons. I saw the first season, decided it wasn't for me. Not that I thought it was bad, I just thought, you know, this isn't for me. It's a well-made show though, just not for me. But back to this figure, you know, it's fine. If you want to round out your cartoon collection figures, round out the evil horde, then sure, why not? Go ahead and get it. But honestly, I just think it's okay. And in some cases, even problematic. So I don't know, whatever. It was only 20 bucks, so it didn't break my bank. So alright folks, that's gonna wrap it up. I'm Ripidopen at Newman on all the socials. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will check you later.